Some developing news out of Ukraine. With no peace deal, Vladimir Putin is instead strengthening his ties with China, India, and North Korea. The Russian president visiting Beijing for a regional summit and Chinese military parade at the invitation of China's president. North Korean leader Kim Jong Un, who rarely leaves his country, also traveling to Beijing at Xi's request, the first multilateral event during his 14-year rule. Their regional summit comes as the U.S. and European Union work toward post-war plans for Ukraine that would include a multinational troop deployment there, even as progress toward a peace deal has now stalled. NewsNation's Robert Sherman is live in Kyiv. And Robert, Putin appears to be ignoring President Trump's peace efforts.
And that's what we've heard from the administration here as well, Nichole, is that their observations are that in recent days, recent weeks, Russia, since that Alaska summit, has not been making strides towards peace. And this week, well, this represents crunch time. This is the deadline that President Trump set for Russia, with the threat of more economic sanctions or secondary tariffs to be issued on Russia. So far, we've not seen any moves there. Where's Russian President Vladimir Putin today? In China, with these other heads of state, from Chinese President Xi Jinping, Kim Jong Un of North Korea, and some other major heads of state as well, coalescing, unifying interests in which they say is a measure to counter the West's influence over the global stage. Now, that being said, the subject of Ukraine did come up, in which President Putin has said that he believes there are some mutual understandings that he's found between the Kremlin's position and the White House's position, going on to say as well that they're open-minded to the idea of EU membership for Ukraine. This was Russian President Vladimir Putin today.
As for the Ukrainians' EU membership, we have never objected to this. As for NATO, this is another issue. The point is the security of the Russian Federation, not only today or in midterm time span. It is about long-term outlook. Our position here is well known. We consider it is unacceptable for us.
But when it comes to a face-to-face meeting between President Zelensky and President Putin, that appears to be up in the air, with Yuri Ushakov, who is a Kremlin aide, saying to Russian media, now they're talking about a trilateral meeting, about a meeting between Putin and Zelensky, but specifically this, as far as I know, there was no agreement between Putin and Trump on it. Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent has said that all options remain on the table when it comes to economic pressures that they can put on Russia to drive them to the negotiating position. Nichole.
All right. So, Robert, what more can you tell us about, European allies drawing up these plans for what security guarantees for Ukraine could look like?
Yeah, I mean, we are going to be getting a little bit more information later this week when the Coalition of the Willing meets. But what we've heard from European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is that they're currently game planning what this will look like on the other side of the war when it comes to security guarantees for Ukraine. They remain insistent that they believe the United States is going to be involved in a backstop capacity, as they described it, though to this point, President Trump has insisted no American troops will be on the ground in Ukraine. This has been a real sticking point with the Kremlin, because their position is that no Western troops whatsoever should be allowed on the ground in Ukraine. And the Kremlin's position is further is that they should have the ability to negotiate on what the security guarantees for Ukraine will look like. Nichole.
Robert Sherman, live for us there in Kyiv. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.